The doorbell chimed, a small, polite sound that still made my heart jump a little. I smoothed down my blouse, a nervous habit I thought I'd outgrown years ago. 60, divorced, and living alone for what felt like forever. You wasn't used to visitors, especially. No tones who were coming to set up a new vibrating massager, the kind you saw advertised on late-night TV, promising to soothe every ache and pain. I'd bought it on a whim, a quiet protest against the silence of my evenings. I opened the door to a young man. He couldn't have been more than 23, tall with kind eyes and a shy smile. He introduced himself as Ethan from Thestor. My first thought was, oh dear, he's awfully young. My second was, he's awfully handsome. Come in, Ethan, I said, trying to sound calm and collected. It's through here. He carried a large box. Following me into the living room, and that's when my stomach dropped. Right there on the armchair next to the sofa lay my little collection of personal relaxation aids. My vibrators, a couple of them mossily hidden under a throw blanket. But one, a rather sleek purple number, was peeking out unmistakable. I'd been tidying up earlier, planning to put them away in my bedside drawer, and then the doorbell had rung, pulling me away. If a stranger noticed something private in your house, would you laugh it off or die of embarrassment? My cheeks flushed crimson. I wanted the floor to swallow him whole. My private world exposed to this sweet young man. I fumbled for Thethro, but it was too late. Ethan's gaze, which had been scanning the room for a good place to set up, paused. He saw them. He didn't stare or didn't flinch, but his eyes definitively just stirred what they were. A faint, almost imperceptible blush crept up his neck. Just put the box down where, Ethan, I stammered, grabbing the blanket and sweeping them off the chair as if they were forgotten Titawell. I tossed them behind a cushion on the sofa, hoping he hadn't seen too much. Welcome back to Evelyn's Secret Stories, where nothing stays hidden for long. Don't forget to subscribe. The Sony's going to get intense. We stood there for a moment, the air thick with unspoken knowledge. My embarrassment was a hot wave, but beneath it I felt a strange flicker, a tiny spark of something I hadn't felt in years. He knew I was a woman who still had needs even at 60, so he cleared his throat, his voice a little softer now. The massager, where would you like it? It pointed to the corner by the window there. I think it'll be nice to have it next to the light. As he bent to open the box, I watched him. His movements were careful, methodical. He unfolded the pieces, laying them out in the rug. I could feel my heart thrumming, a different kind of beat than usual. My eyes kept darting to him, then to the spot where I'd hidden my toys. What was he thinking? Was he disgusted, amused? Looks like a complicated setup, I offered just to break the silence. Hutchcold, not too bad, just a lot offerts. Supposed to be really good for muscle aches, circulation. Do you have a lot of back pain, ma'am? Clara, please, I corrected gently, and sometimes more just overall stiffness. You know, getting older isn't always a picnic. He paused, looking up at me. His eyes, a warm hazel, held genuine curiosity. Guess. Nah, my grandmother says the same thing. Ah yes, the wisdom of grandmothers, I said, a small smile touching my lips. Though this isn't actually for my golden years aches, if you catch my drift, I surprised myself be actually saying it. A little bolder than I intended. The words hung in the air, a subtle nod to the unspoken. Ethan's blush deepened this time, a definite pink spreading across his cheeks. He met my gaze, and for a fleeting second I saw it. A flicker of something that wasn't just politeness, a spark of understanding, even a touch of intrigue. Well, he said, turning back to the massager, his voice a little huskier. These new ones, they have all sorts of settings. Deep tissue, gentle vibrations for all kinds of relief. He emphasized the last few words ever so slightly. And my breath hitched. Do you believe love can happen at any age? I felt a tingle spread through me, a warmth that had nothing to do with their own temperature. He wasn't just talking about muscles anymore. Yes, I replied, my voice a little breathy. And hoping for comprehensive relief, he worked steadily, assembling the care, connecting the wires. I sat on the edge of my sofa watching him, trying to act natural. But my mind was in a verge. The embarrassment of my initial moment was slowly giving way to something else, a strange, exhilarating sense of possibility. It had been so long since I'd felt looked at, truly seen as a woman with desires. There, Heffinally announced, standing up, already for a test run. He gestured to the plush new massager chair. Would you mean demonstrating the settings? Asked. Just. So I know how it all works. He nodded, a slight smile on his lips. Of course. He sat down, his long legs stretching out, and pressed the button. The chair hummed to life. He adjusted the controls, explaining each function. This is for your lower back. This for your shoulders. And these are the different vibration patterns. He cycled through them, his voice calm, but I could feel the undercurrent. As he spoke, he gestured, his hand brushing against the side of the chair near where my thigh would be. A small anesthetic, but it sent a shiver through me. I could imagine his hand there, gently yet firm. Do you think age really matters in relationships? It really gets very weird, doesn't it? I said, my voice a little husky. His eyes met mine, a knowing look passing between us. It's designed to stimulate all the right spots. When he stood up, the chair still humming. The atmosphere in the room felt thick and auto-cut with a knife. He hadn't left yet, hadn't packed up his tools. He just stood there looking at me, and I looked back. No longer trying to hide my feelings. Clara, he began, then hesitated. I should probably go. What will you do in this moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I read every single one. Should you? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. My heart was pounding. Now a frantic drum against my ribs. I knew what I was inviting. I knew the risks, but I also knew the profoundest loneliness I'd carried for years. He ran a hand through his hair, a gesture of nervous energy. I haven't felt like this before. His eyes were direct, earnest. Not with anyone really, but especially. Not with someone older, the honesty of his words was disarming. My earlier embarrassment completely vanished, replaced by a surge of warmth and a strange, exhilarating confine. He was young, yes, but he was here and he was feeling something too. Sit down, Ethan, I said, patting the spot next to me on the sofa. That spot where my toys were now safely tucked away, but their presence still lingered, a silent testament to my desires. He sat, leaving a polite distance between us. I could practically feel the tension vibrating in the air. It's all right, Ethan, I said, putting a hand on his arm. His skin was warm, firm. There's nothing wrong with feeling, and there's certainly nothing wrong with wanting. I felt him relax a fraction, his gaze on my hand, then moving back to my eyes. I didn't expect this. Neither did I, believe me, I confessed, a genuine laugh bubbling up from deep inside me. I was expecting a delivery, some instructions, and then back to my quiet evening. Life has a funny way of surprising us, doesn't it? Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. I squeezed his arm gently. If you're staying a moment, I'm going to change into something more comfortable. This blouse is a bit stiff. It was Miss Subtle. Invitation, a promise of what might come. I walked to my bedroom, my steps feeling lighter than they had in years. I didn't want to hide anything from him. I chose a soft silk robe, deep crimson, that draped elegantly over my body, touching the floor. It was sensually modest enough to not feel like I waist-strained too hard. I let my silver-striped hair fall loose around his holders. When I re-entered the living room, Ethan was still sitting on the sofa, but he turned to face my bedroom door, waiting. His breath hitched faintly when he saw me. His eyes roamed over me, taking in the silk, the way it moved with my body, the looseness of my hair. I felt beautiful under his gaze, truly beautiful despite my 60 years. I walked back to the sofa, sitting down closer to him this time. The scent of theme, faint and fresh, reached me. That's very lovely, Clara, he said, his voice a low rumble. Thank you, Ethan, I replied, meeting his gaze directly. It's certainly more comfortable. My hand quite naturally found his. His fingers were long and strong. His palm slightly calloused. He didn't pull away. Instead, I intertwined our fingers, his grip. Sure and warm, Clara, he whispered. I don't know what to do. Just be Ethan, I murmured, my thumb stroking the back of his hand. Just be here with me. What would you think if your mom, your aunt, or even your grandma did something like this? Be honest. And then I leaned in slowly, deliberately. My lips a little softer. Then his met his own. It was a tentative beginning, a gentle press that tasted of surprise and curiosity. He responded instantly, a soft sigh escaping him as his lips parted, inviting me in. The kiss deepened, becoming more confident, more hungry. My hand moved from his, tracing the line of his jaw, feeling the slight stubble there. His free hand found my waist, pulling me closer until there was no space left between us on the sofa. Orcus grew urgent, a culmination of all the unspoken words, all the silent glimpses. My body sang with a forgotten song, a melody of yearning and desire. His youth was a vibrant energy that flowed into me, invigorating every nerve ending. He broke the kiss for a moment, his forehead resting against mine. Clara had breathed, eyes closed. I want you? You want you too, Ethan, I whispered back, my voice thick with emotion. The words felt liberating, honest. He kissed me again, slower this time, a sensual exploration. His hand, which had been on my waist, drifted lower, tracing the curve of my hip beneath the silk. A shiver ran through me. A delightful anticipation, I urged into his touch, letting him know I welcomed it. Emboldened, his hand moved to the sash of my robe. With a gentle tug, the silk loosened, falling open slightly to reveal the curve of Miss Holder, my collarbone. His fingers, warm and sure, grazed my skin, sending delicious tingles through. My own hands found the hem of his shirt, pulling it free from his dressers. Eager to feel the warmth of his skin, he pulled back just enough to look at me, his eyes dark with desire, but still full of a tender respect. Are you sure, Clara? He asked, his voice low and earnest. More than I've been sure of anything in a long, long time, I replied, my gaze unwavering. His concern, his thoughtfulness touched me deeply. It wasn't just physical for him, I realized. Slowly, carefully, he pushed out the silk robe from my shoulders, letting it pull around my hips. My simple camisole and briefs were all they remained. I watched his eyes, seeing the admiration there, the desire that didn't flinch from my 60-year-old body. It was liberating. My confidence grew, blossoming under his gaze. He leaned in, kissing the hollow of my throat, then trailed his lips down over me. Collarbone. His touch was feather-light, yet it ignited a fire within me. My hands fumbled with the buttons of his shirt, and soon it too was open, revealing his smooth, muscular chest. I pressed my palm against his skin, feeling the strong beat of his heart against mine. You're beautiful, Clara, he murmured against my skin, his words able to years of quiet solitude. I helped him remove his shirt, then my own camisole. His eyes lingered on my breasts. Not with crude lust, but with a gaze that felt almost reverent. He reached out, his fingers brushing over my nipple, which instantly hardened under his touch. A gasp escaped me, a wave of pure sensation washing over me. He kissed me again, deeper, tasting me, exploring me. His hands slipped under the elastic of my briefs, his fingers finding the warm, sensitive skin between my legs. I moaned into his mouth, my hips arching instinctively. It had been so long, so terribly long since I'd felt this intensity, this raw, beautiful awakening of my own body. He was gently insistent. His youthful energy, a powerful, intoxicating force. He lifted me and I wrapped my legs around him, letting him carry me to my bedroom. The journey was a blur of kisses, of whispered words, of urgent touches. He laid me on the soft sheets, his body following mine, pressing against me. In the soft glow of the bedside lamp, one dressed each other fully. Slowly, each movement a loving exploration. There was no rush, just a deep mutual hunger. His body, firm and young, felt incredibly pressed against mine. My skin tingled everywhere. He touched. He kissed every inch of me, from my lips to my breast to my belly. His youth apparent counterpoint to my wisdom, hysogenous meeting my deep-seated desire. When he finally entered me, it was with a careful tenderness that surprised me. He paused, letting our bodies adjust, letting our breaths mingle. I gasped, acre of pure pleasure and relief escaping me lips. It was a sensation I'd almost forgotten. A fullness that spoke of connection, of being utterly and completely desired. It's getting tense. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get back to it. We moved together, a slow rhythmic dance guided by instinct and the urgent pulse of desire. I let go completely, allowing his youthful energy to carry me, to push me further than I thought possible. My hands tangled in his hair, my nails slightly raking his back. I could feel his strength, his passion, his own genuine pleasure. His eyes met mine wide and amazed as we moved toward the peak. CL, he groaned, his voice hoarse. Oh, Clara. His words were a testament to the raw, honest connection we were sharing. And then, as a wave of pure ecstasy broke over me, I cried out, my body arcing to his. It was a release so profound, so utterly satisfying that it echoed throughout every fiber of my being. Ethan followed soon after, his body shaking against mine, his breath hot against my ear. We lay there tangled together, our bodies slick with sweat, our breath slow evening out. His head rested on my chest, his strong arm wrapped around him. I stroked his hair, feeling the soft texture against my fingers. Was this a mistake or the best decision of my life? What do you think? The silence that followed wasn't lonely. It was full, rich, with the lingering echoes of fashion, with a surprising intimacy we had found. My heart swelled with a feeling I hadn't known I craved so deeply. It wasn't just physical pleasure, though that had been intense and exhilarating. It was the feeling of being seen, desired, adored. Of being alive in a way I hadn't been in decades. I looked at the ceiling, a soft smile touching my lips. The quiet hum of the new massager in the living room seemed to recede, a distant memory. This moment there with Ethan had massaged more than just my muscles. It had reached deep inside me, soothing old aches of loneliness, invigorating my spirit. My solitude world for this moment had opened up, letting in light and warmth. This was more than just hope. It was a profound sense of satisfaction, a deep, resonant fulfillment of urges I long dead. In Ethan's arms, I felt holy gain. And that's just one of Evelyn's secret stories. But trust me, there are plenty more. Subscribe now and you won't miss the next one. If this story had you hooked, hit the bell so you never miss what's coming next, because the best secrets are still ahead.